Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Now, what is bondage? Bondage is nothing but taking the anatma vastu as oneself, the atma, the self, and getting attached to the unreal things, anatma vastu. Because of that, man suffers here in the samsara, and then he goes and comes back. Transmigration happens. So this Atma, the self, is like Jnana Suryan, but somehow because of tamas, as if Rahu swallowing the sun, this avarana shakti of the Maya, like the tamasic power of Maya, it as if engulfs the Atma Suryan, and then there is ignorance. But from the highest standpoint, ignorance is not possible. Why? From the higher standpoint, sun from its own standpoint, nothing can swallow him or anything. But we are from a different frame of reference. That's why we find him to be eclipsed. But in his own standpoint, there is no eclipse. So when we identify with the self, there is no ajnana. Since somehow we are not able to identify with the self, we have to say there is ajnana. And as if it has engulfed the Atma Jnana and all those stuff. Okay, so the sadhana is what? Not to get identified with the not self. What is Swami not self? That's what we have spoken all these days. Starting from the gross body, subtle body, and all the sense organs, and everything, mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, everything is not self. Yes. Then not to identify with anything? No. Then how to live? That is why it is difficult. It is not easy. Only when you totally abide in the self, then that is ananda. And the ananda enakku vendam Swamiji. Ivlo kashtapattu edukku and anandam? Why should I need that anandam? I have so much of difficulties. If you say that, then it means you don't have that kind of aspiration. Mumukshutvam is very less actually. No pain, no gain. Okay, once again we will read the verse 139. Okay. Akanda nitya dvayabodha shaktya Sfurantamatmanam ananta vaibhavam Samavrunotya vruti shaktiresha Tamo mayi rahurivarka bimbam. That Atma, the self, which is unbroken, akhanda, nitya, ever present, advaya, one without a second, of the nature of pure consciousness, that is ananta vaibhavam, with its infinite glory, is as if avrunoti avrutti shakti resha, as if covered. Avrunoti means as if covered by what? The power of Maya. That is avrutti shakti, that avrana shakti. That is the tamasic aspect of Maya. So that covers. Then what happens? Rahu diva arka bimbam, as if the sun is engulfed or swallowed by Rahu. This ananta vaibhavam, Atma the self, is swallowed or engulfed by tamas. See, if you want to know how this Rahu engulfs, every day it is engulfing us when we go to sleep. See, when the sleep overpowers, Nobody can do anything. Now you don't check. See, she is checking now. So, when you go to sleep, it overpowers. And you don't know what's happening also. You go. And when the sleep overpowers, it's very difficult to keep awake. That is why we feel very sad, very pity for the students who are sitting and sleeping in the class, I mean. They can't sleep also and they can't be awake also. So if a teacher is a very compassionate one, he should allow the student to sleep. See, when we were studying in the ashram, there were 2 students from Australia. Actually, they were not full-time students, but the parents, they wanted these children to undergo this training for few months. So they had sent to the Sandipani. They were finished 12th and they wanted to go into the university or something. There was some gap between, so they had sent to the Sandipani. So you know what? Every day morning, 5 to 5:45, 6 meditation class. They cannot sit because they are very tall, Australians. They sit like this. So they carry pillows and come for the meditation class. And with the alarm clock also, you won't believe. So that after some time they are flat. But Acharya was very kind. He just didn't mind it. Meaning what? If you feel sleepy, you cannot do anything. You are overpowered by sleep. That is tamas. So it is as if engulfing the Purna Paramatma. So to be awake, alert itself is a big thing. See, that is why this meditation is not simple. 2-3 things are very important before sitting for meditation. One thing is, if you are very tired after a day's work, you have toiled and become exhausted, then if you sit also, there is no use. You become very dull and drowsy and sleepy. Adukku you can sleep and then become fresh and meditate. Some people, they have got some niyamas. Now this time I have to meditate. So when the mind is very tired, if you sit, there is no use. One thing. Second thing is, if you eat this much, stomach is full, then also you cannot meditate. Because all the blood goes for the circulation, for the digestion of the food. It doesn't go into the brain. So brain becomes very dull. So when you overeat also, you cannot meditate. Suppose if you are not slept well, disturbed sleep, then also meditation is not possible. So for the meditation to happen, you have to have a very fresh, alert mind. But when the mind is fresh and alert, it starts roaming. Rajas. It goes everywhere. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. That Sivajnana Sodhi, he borrowed some money from me. I don't know what happened to that. Next time let him come. See, what are you doing? You are meditating on Lord Shiva and mind has gone to that fellow who has borrowed money from you. So like that, you may not be even aware, it goes. Because that is Rajas. So to remain awake and not to allow the mind to roam itself is an art. That is why meditation is very difficult, you know. And people come and ask, Swamiji, please teach meditation. First of all, you have to go through that rigorous discipline of getting up and being fresh. That is why Nama Japa and all is very important. But you know, if you do Nama Japa also, you go to sleep. Why? Because you have not trained your mind to be awake and not to think of anything. When you are awake, you think of so many things. When you are not thinking of so many things, you go to sleep. That is how we have trained our mind. But for elderly people, it is still worse. When they want to go to sleep, they can't. When they want to keep awake, they go to sleep. It is like flip-flop. They say, no? So therefore, even to sit awake and not to entertain any thoughts, to focus on the self, adukke it will take lot of years practice. Because you have not trained the mind that way, you know. Because this tamas as if swallows the Surya, the Jnana Suryan. and we are not conscious of anything. Not conscious of the world, not conscious of self, not conscious of anything. So there the expression is I don't know. That also you don't say there. You wake up and you say, I had a good sleep, but I was not knowing anything. Now, moving on to the next verse. 140th verse. Wait, I am trying to recollect the meter. Tiro bhute swatmani. Tiro bhute swatmani. Tiro bhute swatmani. Amalatara tejovati puman. Tejovati puman. Anatmanam mohad. Anatmanam mohad. Ahamidi shariram kalayati. Tata kama krodha. Prabrudhi bihiramum bandhana gunaihi. Param vikshepakya. Rajasa urushaktir vyatayati. Somehow you have chanted and finished. Tiro bhute swatmani amalatara tejovadi puman. Swatmani, in oneself, amalatara, very pure. Tejovati puman, one who is full of light. Tejovati puman. Tiro bhute, when he is covered by this avarana shakti, what happens? Atmanam mohad ahamidi shariram kalayati. What happens? When he is covered by this tamo shakti, tamo aspect of Maya, not only he doesn't know the self, instead what happens? Mohad, out of delusion, ahamidi shariram kalayati. He thinks he is the gross body. We don't say I am the gross body, but we all deeply we believe that way. Ahamiti kalayati tataha. And after that what happens? Once when the body identification is complete, what happens? I become a very individualized ego, a vyakti. Then comes all the negativities in the mind. Kamaha, krodha, prabrudhi. Kama, krodha. Shad urmi they say na. The diseases of the mind. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, mascharya. Everything else. Prabrudhi, prabudhibihi, amum bandha gunaihi. They bind the jiva. Because when you are possessed by this kama, you cannot keep quiet. So much negativity. You want to do something and you want to indulge or you want to get it. Kama. If you don't get it, you get angry. The desire itself becomes anger. Once when you get, you are not satisfied. You want more and more. See, lobha. More and more and more. This is samsara. If somebody else has got it and you are not getting it, then there is jealousy, feeling of jealous. Is it not so? So, all this bandha gunaihi, they all bind this jiva. Param vikshepakya rajasa uru shakti vyatayati. Because of this uru shakti, very terrible force called as the rajas, the vikshepakya. Vikshepa means what? The distraction. Vikshepa, agitation. This jiva, vyatayati, he is persecuted. What is his real nature? Prashantam. Always quiet and peaceful. And ananda swarupam. Always in bliss. But what happened to that? Prashantam, ananda swarupam. What happened now? Since because this avarana shakti has covered his true self, now he is identified with the body and then become a jiva. And then he is afflicted by desire, anger, this, that, and there is no peace. And he is persecuted until he indulges and gets it, he is not peaceful. When he gets it also, he is not peaceful. So therefore, he is persecuted by this vikshepa shakti. And then he roams in this wilderness again and again. He is not satisfied with anything. He wants something else. He is not satisfied with remaining at home. He wants to go out here, there. Wants to take a world tour. There also he is not happy. He is not getting his idlis and sambar. So what can he do? After going to Turkey, if you expect idli, so he is not peaceful with himself. Something is lacking, he feels. Something is missing, he feels. So he experiments. By getting that I would be happy. By doing that I would be happy. But alas, without knowing the self, nobody can become ever happy. Because, please remember this one sentence in your life. The finite can never satisfy us. The finite can never satisfy us. Because our nature is of infinite Ananda. Only when we rediscover the infinite Ananda, we would come to peace with ourselves. Till then, we are not satisfied. Always we will be roaming. And next Janma also, we will take another body also and doing the same thing. Till the point when you rediscover yourself, when the veil is removed, and when you rediscover yourself to be the Ananta Vaibhavam, that infinite self, which is Anandam, Brahmanandam, Paramanandam, till you discover that, no peace and no rest. That is why Jesus Christ says, பாவப்பட்டு பாவம் சுமப்பவர்களை என்னிடம் வாருங்கள், இளைப்பாறுதல் தருகிறேன். Those who are carrying the burden of life, come to me, I will give you rest. Come to me means what? Come back to the source. Then only you can rest. Till you don't come back, there is no rest, there is no peace. You can try anything. No, not even going to America. You can go to moon. You can go to Mars. If you have a tie-up with that Elon Musk, you can go anywhere. You know who is Elon Musk now? A mad fellow who is trying to keep chips in your head and wanting to control everybody now with his chips. I don't know what all going to happen. We don't know really. So, wherever you go, whatever you do, you will not find satisfaction because everything is finite. Finite can never satisfy us. So, only when we discover our true self, there is satisfaction. Then only there is rest. Okay. So, therefore, Uru Shakti means terrible power. What is the terrible power? Rajas. This Rajas in us. Vikshepakya. In other words, it is called as Vikshepa. The distraction or that agitation of the mind that will never end. And Vyatayati. It persecutes the Jiva. Brahane baindu beta. Plantains are there. So give the plantains to them. Give the plantains to them. You take the plantain and keep it out. No, keep it out. Let them have it, power. You keep it out. So let them take and go. So he is persecuted by this Rajas always. Mahamoha graha grasana Galidatmava Galitatma Matmava Ghamanaha Diyo Nana Vastam Swayam Abhinayastad Gunataya Apare Samsare Vishaya Visha Sarpure Jalanidau Nimajjon Majjayam Bhramati Kumatihi Kutsita Gatihi. See these meters and all, I am finding it difficult really. See, Mahamoha Graha Grasana Galita Atmava Gamanaha. See, this Graha, this shark. What is this shark? Mahamoha Graha. Here, the Mahamoha, the delusion is compared to the shark. Grasana Galita Atmava Gamanaha. This Mahamoha, when it deludes this Jiva, this shark called as Mahamoha, when it deludes this Jiva or when it covers the Atma, the self, what happens? Diyo nanavastam swayam abhinayaha tad gunataya. What he thinks, this Jiva, what he thinks, whatever is the agitations in the mind and intellect, he thinks those dharmas belonging to the mind and intellect to be his own dharma. And he thinks, Ayo, I am agitated now, I am confused now. My God, I don't know, I want some peace, leave me alone. Why he says leave me alone? Because his mind and buddhi is not quiet and peaceful now. For some reason it is disturbed. And there are so much of agitation inside. He is unable to, stand apart and watch. Instead, he takes all the dharma of the mind intellect to be on his head, his own dharma, and he also agitates. And there is no peace. He cries. And if it goes beyond the point, he becomes mad. What is madness? If you are afflicted by uncontrolled thinking, unable to control thoughts, then leads to madness. So what are the buddhi and what are the mana and buddhi? They are not self. So the thoughts arising there belongs to the prakriti, not self. Who is he? Ananda Vaibhavam, Ananta Vaibhavam, Ananda Swarupam. So how he should handle this? He should remain in his own self and watch and observe, not getting affected, tainted by all these vrittis, manovrittis. But because of the Mahamoha, because of the delusion, because of not knowing himself, he thinks himself to be this personality, and these thoughts are very real. And then he identifies with those mind and intellect and those thoughts, and then he thinks, Ayo, my God, why this has come to me? I am suffering, O Lord, take care of me, he says. And he goes to God and prays, Oh God, please help me, save me. What can God do?
Go to psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, what can he do? He can listen to you and he can give you some solutions. But you know what? He has to stand apart. And he should remember that all these things belong to the Prakriti, nothing to do with me. Let them come, let them go. I will just stand apart, remain a Sakshi. Only when he takes this stand, he is saved. Otherwise, nobody can save him.
What is involved process? Automatically.
That's what. Because of our non-discrimination, because we are not alert, we get carried away. Because, from the childhood onwards, we have not been taught this now. We don't know even what is our true self, what is anatma and all. Always we have been identifying. And sometimes this identification is glorified. See how responsible husband he is. When you identify so much with that husbandhood and always lives like a grihastha, then he is admired. What a good grihastha. What a noble son he is. What is a wonderful husband he is. But he is attached so much to his wife and to his family, he is suffering. But that is glorified. But what the teachers teach you? Good. You do your duty, but know that you are something else. Don't get identified or attached. That is how you have to remind. This nobody teaches. That is why we have been doing this, so it becomes natural to us. So to withdraw and to stand apart becomes very difficult. For that you need so much of awareness and so much of efforts as if efforts you need. So that is what is said here. What is said? Diyo nanavastam. Diyaha means buddhis nanavastam. The modifications. Swayam abhinayam. Swayam abhinayan. He takes to himself tad gunataya, and is agitated by whatever the dharma of the mind and intellect. He superimposes itself on himself. And apare samsare vishaya vishapure jalanidau nimajjan unmajjayam brahmati kumatihi. Kumatihi means what? This perverted fellow, kumatihi. What happens? Apare samsare. In this difficult to cross over, this apare, infinite, this samsara, the ocean of samsara, vishaya vishapure, which is full of poisonous shark and other wild beings, jalanidau, in that ocean, nimajjan unmajayam brahmati. He is drowned. He goes down and comes up, goes down and comes up. See, in the ocean, if you are unable to swim, what happens? So you go down and then you go and then you go down. So in this samsara, in this ocean of samsara, since because he doesn't know what to do, he struggles. That struggle is explained here. Already it is infected with lot of wild, shark and other things. That is the Vishaya, sense objects. And also he has got this Mahamoha, identify with the body mind. And Rajas is there in him, which is troubling him so much. So in this he suffers. As if he drowns, then he comes out, then he drowns. Brahmati, thus he lives. Kumatihi, the stupid fellow, he lives like that. Kutsagati, kutsita gatihi. Alas, what will be his gati? Meaning what? Nirghatiya poyarno. Unless a guru comes in his life and points out the truth to him, helps him to cross over this ocean of samsara, he cannot cross. That is why yesterday we saw why Guru is so great. He comes to our help. He is our real Bandhu. And he says, my dear son, you need not suffer here. There is no reason to suffer here. Because you are not this. You are not the one among the sheep. You are the lion. Roar now. Don't cry. Have no fear. See? But it is not that easy. Howsoever he instructs, we have our innate tendencies, na? Subhavastu pravartante. We live according to our innate tendencies only. So, to some extent we come up and then we go back. We come up and then it's a struggle. It's not easy. That is why we have to hold on to the feet of the Sadguru. With constant Satsanga and Guru Seva, we have to hold on to his feet. Otherwise we may forget this knowledge. And we may identify again and again. Again and again, same tamasha continues. You understand? So this ocean of samsara is already afflicted with lot of wild beasts. That is Vishaya. More than Vishaya, also emotional attachments. So therefore, to cross is very difficult. Kripaya pare pahi murare. O Lord, pahi murare, protect me. Kripaya pare. Because of your infinite compassion, please protect me. That is the prayer. So, he is drowning in the ocean of samsara. Why? Kumatihi. His buddhi is not functioning properly. Discrimination is not there. Buddhu, he is a Buddhu, not a Buddha. See what a difference, see? He is a Buddhu, not a Buddha. And Kutsitagtihi, what will happen to him? Such a Kumatihi. Swamiji, suppose if a person is not studying all this Vedanta stuff, there is no other gati for him. No. If he follows the path of devotion also, he will be saved. How he will be saved? Because of his, infinite devotion to the Lord of his heart, his ego melts. All his likes and dislikes goes. And kama, krodha, everything is removed from his heart. So naturally, without his effort, he abides in that peace. Paramashanti, Sukha Nidana, Divya Ramanam. In that Ramanama, in that ocean of bliss, he loses himself and he attains Paramam Shanti. No doubt. He may not understand these scriptures. He might not have, tried all these gymnastics of not identifying and all. But naturally his mind glides because his mind is full of devotion. And he is unable to think of anything else except the Lord. That kind of devotion. Not this kind of, barter system, you give me this, I will give you this. That is not a devotion actually. So that kind of Tukaram, such kind of bhakti, and our Mirabai, and our Nayanmars, Alvars, their bhakti is supreme. Such kind of bhakti also will lead you to the truth. No doubt about that. Because Bhagavan Ramanuja clearly has said, Atma Vichara or Atma Samarpana. Atma Vichara, if you find it to be difficult, Atma Samarpana. Everything is offered unto him and you don't expect anything. Not even moksha. Oh Lord, give me the devotion to your feet. Let my heart swell more and more with devotion to your feet. That is the true spirit of bhakti. With that he realizes. So if somebody says, if you are not studying Vedanta, if you are not, this Brahma Atma Aikya Bodha, sorry. See, they are also very fanatical actually. See, people become very fanatical, I have seen everywhere. If you go to Bhagavan's devotees, they become very fanatical. Only by following Atma Vichara you can realize. Adi Shankara's Vedanta and all cannot help you. They say that, you know that? They have got that kind of audacity to say that path may not help you. So before Bhagavan nobody was realized. Everybody were fools, Only Bhagavan has come and then this Brahma Jnana happened. Nonsense. See, I am a great Bhakta of Bhagavan and also a great this thing of Adi Shankara also. Great student of Adi Shankara also. And these Adi Shankara people are equally venomous. They say, what is this? Tatpada Nirnaya is not there in Bhagavan's literature. So how will you know the truth? So you cannot. Thank you, Baba. Thank you. I will not realize yourself. I am happy. You go and realize yourself and be happy. Similarly, these intellectually, arrogant fellows, they say all these bhaktas will never reach. And bhaktas are also not, any less. They say these fellows, they go on breaking their head. What is there to break the head? Just to sing Krishna Rama Govinda, everything is done. They say Krishna Rama Govinda, half an hour they sing and 24.5 hours they do other things. That will not happen. See, the pravachanakars, they say, you take the Lord's name, everything will be good. But they take the nama, only in the stage they take the nama. Other times they are very busy in their business. How to make more money, how to build more ashrams, how to have more disciples. Bhuktaye natu muktaye. So, it is not that easy to cross this ocean of samsara. Maya power is so great. So it veils the truth from you and it projects something extraordinary. And to come out of that, you need the grace. Really, you need the grace of the Guru, of that Lord, ultimate. Then only you can come out of it. Bhanu Prabha Sanjanita Brapanktihi Bhanum Tirodhaya Vijrumbhate Yata Atmoditaham kritidatma tattvam tatha tirodhaya vijrumbate swayam. See, our masters were wonderful, I tell you. What sort of analogies they give, you know. Oh, beautiful. See, Bhanu Prabhasan Janito Brapanktihi Prasbasan Janita Brapanktihi Bhanum Tirodhaya Vijrumbate Yata Atmoditaham kritiratma tattvam Ditaham kritiratma tattvam Tata tirodhaya vijrumbate swayam. See this Abhra Panktihi. Abhra means the clouds. The clouds what you see in the sky, where from they have come? Bhanu Prabha Sanjanita. It has come out of the heat of the sun. Bhanu Prabha. Because of the heat and light of the sun, the waters of the ocean, it's evaporated and then they form the clouds. And what they do? From the ocean they have come. Because of the sun, they have come, these clouds, and what they do? Bhanuhu tirodaya vijrumbate yata, and they cover the sun. And they manifest themselves. So the clouds, the dark clouds, they cannot be formed without the sun. Because of his heat alone, the water gets evaporized and then there is a cloud. But you know what? Those clouds, they cover the sun when you are far away in the earth. Similarly, Atma Udita Ahankritihi Atmanam Tata Nirodhaya. So from the Atma, the self, only the Ahankriti, Ahankara comes with the identification. Then it covers the Atma, the self. And Ahankriti only asserts itself. Vijrumbate Swayam. It asserts itself, you know, who I am, you know. Without the Atma, the self, the substratum, there cannot be Ahamvriti, Ahamkritihi. That ego self cannot be. But having risen from the Atma, the self, it covers, that is the Maya power. Taking the energy and taking the sustenance from Atma only, Ahamkritihi also rises. And it covers the same Atma, the self. And we as fools don't understand. And the Ahankara asserts itself. What it says? I am everything. Let everybody come and worship me. We don't say that, but always we feel that. Feel like that, you know. I am to Baba, not like that person. I am different. This is Ahankara. I am different. I am unique, you know. I don't go and mix with all these low class people. I am something else. This is Ahankara. This sannyasi will not mix with other sannyasi because he is IAS retired. See? And you know also what? In Kashi and all, there is Dandi Swamis who carry Danda. And some people will be walking in front of them. Hey, Dandi Swami is coming, come on, move away, move away, move away. You know why? Dandi Swamis means the Brahmins who have taken up to the sannyasa, they are called as Dandi Swamis. And they are superior. If a non-Brahmin takes sannyasa, Hare Rama, sannyasa means what? Giving up all the differences. And to be one with the world or to be one with the nature, one with the self is sannyasa. No? Even after sannyasa, I am not an ordinary sannyasi, I am a Brahmana sannyasi. See, that Abhimana is not going. I am a Brahmana sannyasi. Then, is there a Shudra sannyasi? I really don't understand. This Brahmana sannyasi is coming, vali vidunga, go away, go away. And this Brahmana sannyasi walks. Sarvanash. I tell you, this Maya is so tricky, so subtle. See, this person has gone beyond all the Varna Ashrama, na? But how can he consider himself as Brahmana sannyasi? If you ask this question, then they say, no, you are now talking too much. You know what? They want to distinguish themselves from the sannyasi who has not studied properly. He has mastered scriptures. He is Shrotriyam. So therefore he is special. Nobody should go near him. Nobody wants to go near him. Meaning what? I tell you, very difficult. And you know, I suppose few years back, one person got a wild idea in his head. He wants to bring in all the Madhatipatis together for a conference or something, it seems. So he started. And you know what? He afterwards vowed not to do anything of that sort in his life. So much he was afflicted because the problem was the chair size. What size of chair to give to who, which sannyas? Because sannyas are very angry. Oh, you are giving big chair to him and small chair to me. What do you think of me? So the chair size is very important. So many things are there. Ahankara means what? Not chinna ahankara. You and I have got very small ahankara. That is big egos with so many shishya kodis. That is why our Acharya said, don't ever become a guru. You remain a seeker always. Guru Dham. Guru Dham. So, I tell you, this is very difficult to cross. This samsara is very difficult. So, this ahankara, which is asserting itself, where from it has come? From the same source only. From the self only it has risen. Because of the wrong identification. And now it obscures the self. Not only obscures, it asserts itself as if that is the truth. So that which is truth is not seen. That which is untruth is asserting itself. This is Maya. And we get carried away. What a beautiful analogy, see? So therefore, even for the ahankriti to exist, the substratum of the self is required. Even for the cloud which is obstructing the sun to exist, the sun is required. And apart from sun, there is nothing because it shines by its own light. Similarly, when you identify with the self, you will find there is no obstruction. There is no Maya whatsoever. There is only illumination. But as long as you don't identify with the self, then all this, avriti, vikshepa, everything is there. So that is how we have to identify with the self and live as the self. We will stop here. And then he talks about the agitating and wheeling. These two powers, once again he is going to talk about these two powers only. So we will stop here. Om Purnamadha Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.